Welcome to the Life on Your Terms podcast with me, your host, Tracey Liv Howard. My intention is that each episode helps you remember who you are and serves to inspire and support you to reach your most important goals and live life on your terms. Let's get into today's episode. How your brain works when creating a new vision. Ever since undergrad and my degree in psychology, I loved studying the brain. In fact, it was in a college class where I watched the movie, What the Bleep Do We Know?, which featured Dr. Joe Dispenza before he was famous and talked about quantum physics. And it blew my mind. As a coach, I have watched so many people create incredible successes and goals, as well as why so many people fail or struggle to change their life. And what it often deduces down to was their vision, having a real vision and clarity for what we want in our life. And as Bob Proctor said, that we need to first see it in our minds before we can have it in reality. Again, it's this concept that energy precedes matter, that our intention precedes the outcome. Our thoughts create things. And so our vision is going to create our physical reality. And I want to read an excerpt to further this from a book called How Emotions Are Made by Lisa Barrett. Lisa said, "The brain is not a simple machine reacting to stimuli in the outside world. In many cases, the outside world is irrelevant to your experience. Your brain is wired for delusion. Through continued prediction, you experience a world of your own creation that is held in check by the sensory world." Lisa said that, get this blew my mind, 90% of all connections coming into your visual cortex are actually predictions from neurons in the visual cortex. Your brain does not just predict or anticipate the future, it can imagine the future at will. As far as we know, no other animal brain can do that. End quote. So touch the back of your head. This is where the visual cortex sits. And actually, when we're thinking about this, imagine that 90% of what's the activity in your visual cortex is just predictions from your neurons in the visual cortex. Your brain is actively pulling together predictions and concepts and making meaning and pulling your experiences from the past in order to predict the future. Now, the people who are extremely successful in living life on their terms or making a change in their life are getting in the driver's seat of their visual cortex, that they're actively imagining new outcomes that they want, and the brain therefore is going to be able to act on those new visions, new ideas in order to help them move forward. Okay, so think of it this way. I live in Curacao in the Caribbean right now. Maybe you've never thought to visit Curacao in the Caribbean as a holiday destination. Maybe you've never even heard of Curacao. You're welcome. It is next to Aruba and Venezuela. And so if you never thought about that or came into contact with it, it's not in your brain. So when you think about a holiday, your brain will never give you that as an option on somewhere to go for a holiday. So it's going to predict other outcomes, and it's going to grab other places you have heard about and say, here, why don't you go here? And the weaker our vision is, meaning the weaker we have in connection to maybe places we want to visit, or we're stuck in a habit, our brain will just say, well, why don't you just go back to that place you went to last year? Just go back to the same place. It's going to do that. And so on the flip side, now that I'm talking about Curacao, you might go online and look at where this is on the world. Maybe you'll Google what flights look like and watch some YouTube videos and get a sense of this place. And maybe one day you'll come here and visit me. And so I hope what's coming through in this conversation in the power of your brain is that tap the back of your head. 90% of the activity in the visual cortex has nothing to do with your physical reality. your brain is making constant predictions based on what it already knows, because a brain is a record of the past. And so that's why you and me, we have this power. We're the only animal in the entire animal kingdom that can imagine a future at will. And so if you're wanting to make a change in your life, live life on your terms, you better believe that you've got to get extremely clear on what the potentials could be. What are the options, the opportunities, the possibilities? Go as big, as expansive as humanly possible about what it could be, what that holiday vacation could like. I met a woman in San Francisco who just bought a world map and a dartboard, and she's going to throw 3 darts at this world map and pick one of those places to travel to next. And that's how she's going to travel the world. And so what a cool idea, right? That's the power of her vision, to say, wow, let me think about how I could, live my life in a way that's exciting for me. And vision is where I start with all of my coaching clients. What is their vision for their life? And for you, just think about it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the clarity and quality of the vision for your life? So let's say on a 1 to 10 scale, what's your vision like for the next 12 months? Or maybe you could start by writing down all of the things that are part of your vision that you would like to have and experience and do and become. It could be related to your business. It could be related to your family, related to your personal or spiritual growth. It could be related to just things you want to do, like go to a concert or go to a sports event. What's your vision? Some of the most exciting people I've coached have the craziest visions. They just let themselves dream and imagine the big stuff. And I'm telling you, these people are not lucky when these things work out for them. They're understanding the power inside of their minds and in their brains, that if they can imagine going to the Formula One race, if they can see it in their mind, then as they're walking through life, they're going to hear someone mention Formula One. They're going to walk that way at the networking event and say, hey, what do you know about it? So our minds, in order to predict and guide our actions, we've got to start in the visual center. So where could you go right now? So you're probably wanting either a better vision, a clear vision. You understand more about the brain. So what do you do next? I would love for you to take the Living Aligned assessment. It's a advanced personal growth assessment that I've created that starts with questions on your vision. The assessment starts to gauge, are you low, medium, or high in your vision? And by understanding the power of your vision, it's going to actually help you align into the life that you're wanting next for yourself. So I'd love to support you. It's a free assessment. Head to the link in this episode or over at my website, livelitceo.com. And I'd love to walk you through that and support you set that powerful vision for your future success. Thank you. See you on the next episode. A big thank you for listening to this episode. I truly hope you got what you needed. If you want to get more from me each week, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any episodes or bonus content. To be notified of new episodes, workshop opportunities, and more, subscribe to my email list by heading to the link in this episode description. I'm wishing you joy, happiness, and love.